Welcome back everyone to another episode of the Bayern Munich Career Mode series. This will be the 4th episode of the series, and before we get into anything, I want to thank you guys so much for the support on the last episode. We've managed to hit 100 likes on the first 3 episodes, and if we can do the same on this one as well, that would be absolutely awesome. And if for some reason you did miss the last episode, there will be a card in the top right corner. Click on the eye and it will take you back to the last episode, and I highly recommend that you do watch it. But it is now going to be time to get stuck into some transfer action. And after we sold Holger Badstuber in the last episode, I did pose a bit of a question to you guys. At the end of last episode, I did run a poll for you guys to vote in, and it was pretty clear from the results that a lot of you did want me to sign him. I can understand why a lot of you do want me to sign him, because he will be a good prospect for the future. And to be honest, he's already good enough as well for backup to Hummels and Boateng. But I will go ahead and sign up Niklas Süle, and we will go and take a little look at his stats now. He is our second signing here at Bayern Munich, and he looks like a very good one as well. He may not be the fastest of centre-backs that we have at the club, but he certainly is very good defensively. He's got some fantastic strength already at 93, and his stand tackling, marking and slide tackling are already excellent. The only thing that really needs a bit of work on is his heading accuracy and also his composure. And maybe his stamina could be a little bit better as well, but I still think this guy is a very good signing. And once again, he is a signing that has been chosen by you guys, so hopefully you're happy with this one. Although there were some people in the last episode saying that I shouldn't sign Niklas Süle and I should instead use Joshua Kimmich. I think with the fact that Arturo Vidal did get injured and the fact that Kimmich is probably more suited to a central midfield position, I think I will be playing him as a defensive midfielder because he is a bit too short to play in defence. And there was people telling me in the last episode that this guy has been performing really well in real life for Bayern Munich at CDM, and because of those real life performances, I think I will be playing him as a CDM, and I think his stats do suit him better in that position. We don't really have too many days left until the transfer window does slam shut, but I think I'm really happy with the signings that we have made. And looking at the squad, I don't really feel like there's any room for improvement at the moment. I think we can just deal with the squad that we have. Although we could sign a couple of young players, maybe as players for the future, I don't really feel like they're needed at the moment. Although I would like to sign some of the young players you guys are suggesting, I don't really feel like they'll get the game time they deserve. But we will now be going into transfer deadline day, and right at the end of the window, I will take a little look at some of the best deals. And as we simulate forward, I don't really feel like there's too much more that we can do. We'll just keep simulating and maybe see if we can sell a couple of players. We are now on the last hour of the transfer window, and we're going to take a little look at some of the best deals of the window. Not really many high profile, high caliber signings, but there are some very good ones in there. Alexandre Lacazette going to Manchester United, certainly an interesting one. Juan Mata going to Spurs, a little bit of a weird transfer deal there. Serge Aurier going to Manchester City, that is a good signing for them. We've got Ricardo Rodriguez moving to PSG. Interesting one there, seeing Jimenez move to Everton. That's a massive deal for them. Gylfi Sigurdsson moving to Liverpool though for 28 million. That's a really extortionate fee for him. Seamus Coleman moving to Man City. Another interesting one. Kevin Strootman going to Atletico Madrid. Luis Gustavo going to Real Madrid. Again, a bit of a weird one there. There are certainly some interesting deals here though. Whether they're realistic or not, that's another story really, because some of these are a little bit weird. But there we have it. That will be the end of this transfer window, and I'm very happy with the signings we've made. Since we are going to be playing Joshua Kimmich in the CDM role a little bit more often, I am going to be training him in this training session, and we'll have to wait and see if we can get any growth generally speaking. We do see Julian Green going up, which is good, and Donnarumma's also gone up by +1 to a 78 now. But after we've done that, we are going to take a little look at the squad report for this month. I'm not really expecting too many players to be growing, if any at all, and the only players that I'm going to be looking at are the players that have grown for this month. In these monthly squad reports, I usually like to just look at the players that have grown for this month. But at halfway through the season and also at the end of the season, I will evaluate the squad and look at the whole squad report. David Alaba is up to an 88 now, which is really good to see. He's such a fantastic left back, and he's got 3 assists in 6 games as well, which is pretty impressive. Renato Sanchez, after such a great start to the season, is up by +2 to an 80 now. 5 goals and 2 assists in 6 games, pretty good if you ask me. Ian Robin's already starting to to go down in some of his stats though, so I may look to sell him in the next window. And the same for Frank Ribery, he's starting to decrease in some of his stats. Javi Martinez is now up to an 85 overall, and again, he's a player that's only really back up in the squad at the moment, but I do plan on using him a bit more. I'm also going to be setting up a scouting network, and I'm going to be hiring this scout here, who is a 5-star, 5-star. I'm going to be sending the German scout out to Germany, but for these two scouts here, I want you guys to let me know what countries I should be scouting. I will be sending out this German scout to Germany for 9 months and see if he can bring us back anything good. So we do now have the first game of the episode, and this one will be against Schalke in the Bundesliga. And this will be the team we're going with. Unfortunately, we don't have Arturo Vidal in the midfield, but we are giving Joshua Kimmich the chance in this game because a lot of you did say that I should be giving him more game time. Aside from that though, it's pretty much the same lineup we're going with for this game, except I am giving Javi Martinez a go at centre back as well. And this is how the Schalke lineup is looking like. It's certainly looking like a strong side for this game. And Schalke have certainly had a good summer in the signings they've made. They've got Conor Plianka on the left. They've got Mbolo on the right, although I probably would be playing him up front if I was managing them. But it will be an interesting test in this game because Schalke certainly aren't a bad side. But it is going to be Kimmich playing this one forward already, and it's Thiago with the shot, and it's a good effort, but it's unfortunately over the bar. We try and get the cross in as well for Lewandowski maybe. It's a really good delivery, and we win the header with Kimmich as well, and it's straight into the goalkeeper's gloves, unfortunately. Not like him whatsoever, but he wins it back really well off the defender. We'll try and play this one inside. It's a really good pass. Kimmich wins it back. And he misses the opportunity, and he probably should have scored that one. I was trying to pass it to Lewandowski, who was making a good run into the box, but he sort of backtracked in his running a bit. Here goes Iogo, trying to run through the whole defence, and he's done really well. We can't be allowing this to happen. And he almost managed to find the back of the net as well. And that's going to be the end of the first half, and a very, very good one as well. Although we haven't scored in this game yet, I'm very confident that we can do that in the second half. It's going to be Sanchez up here to Lewandowski. I see him making the run, but we'll play it out wide instead. Here to Thomas Müller. What can we do now? Maybe try and find a pass inside. It's here to Lewandowski. He's done well to get round one defender. Maybe we can play it inside again. It's a really good pass to Thiago. What's a block by Kalijanak? And we almost win it back there with Thomas Müller, but we weren't quite able to have the chance. And we're going to play this one up here to Thiago. He's through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and we do end up scoring the first goal of the game. And sadly for Schalke, despite the fact that they were dominant in possession in this second half and they created the better chances, we've ended up scoring the first goal of the game, and that's going to be a very important one, with Thiago getting his second goal in the Bundesliga. And it's Kimmich playing this one forward. I see a really good run being made through the middle. I don't think he's onside though. It's Kingsley Coman going through, and he does end up scoring. He is onside, and he does make it 2-0. I'm not really too sure how Kingsley Coman stayed onside there, but look at that run being made. It's so good through the middle, and it's a very smart finish there past Farman. Doesn't need to put too much power on it, but it's the placement of the shot that counts, and that's Kingsley Coman with his first goal in the Bundesliga. But we do now have a chance here with Renato Sanchez finding David Alaba, and we should have made it 3-0. And there we have it. We do end up winning this game 2-0, and it's a very good performance once again. We do remain unbeaten in our first 3 league games, getting 3 wins out of 3. And in the next game of this episode, we are going to be kicking off our Champions League group stage. And these are the teams that we have in our group, if you don't know already. We have Atletico Madrid, we've got PSV, and also Club Brugge. Some winnable games in there, but I don't want to jinx myself because I know it's not going to be easy. And the first game of the Champions League group stage will be up against PSV. And from the last game, we're going to be giving a few players a rest in this one. Renato Sanchez was a bit tired from the last game, so I'm going to be going with Müller in midfield. I've also gone ahead and taken out David Alaba, and Bernat will be starting in this one. I really would like to start the group stages off in the Champions League in a perfect way by getting a win here against PSV, but I do realise that it will be easier said than done to beat PSV in this game. And looking at the PSV lineup for this game, they've got some really good young players in their starting 11, and it's a really poor throw in there, and we've got an opportunity to capitalise with Lewandowski having a shot, and it's a really good block there by the defender, but that could have been 1-0. He's going to fall back out here for Lahm, playing this one inside here to Martinez, having a shot, and it's a good effort. And what an effort that was by our centre-back, almost scoring a fantastic goal there. It's going to fall for us on the edge of the area for Bernat. And we'll play this one inside here to Kimmich, doing really well, and we'll go for a shot as well. Off the bar, how unlucky is that? And I will try and whip this into the near post, see if we can get something going. It's a good delivery by Douglas Costa and a really good save there by the keeper again. And it's going to be half-time now in the Champions League group stage first game against PSV. And we haven't really been at top gear in this first half. We've been pretty poor. We have had some good opportunities on goal, but just like in the Schalke game, I think we do need to be a tad bit more clinical in the second half. I'm not going to be making any changes at half-time though, because I still felt like the team played well. And Kimmich intercepts once again, really doing the work there in that midfield position. We'll try and play it forward once again to Kingsley Coman. We'll just keep running and have a shot with this one, and it's a really good finish by Kingsley Coman. As was the case in the Schalke game, we've scored with our first shot on target in this second half, and it's really poor defending there by the PSV centre-backs. They should have closed me down a bit better. And it's a ball played forward here through the middle, and they end up keeping the ball here in a good position. They play it forward again, and it's Davy Proper who ends up equalising here for PSV. And that's literally 2 shots in the game for both sides, and they've both been scored. It really isn't good enough defending there by me, but it is a good finish by Davy Proper. But we do end up winning it back very well there with Thiago playing it forward. Up here to Kingsley Coman, the goal scorer. Trying to play this one inside here to Bernat, playing it forward for Lewandowski. We really should have scored that one. That was a good opportunity missed again. And Xabi Alonso hasn't done well again. They get the cross in once again. It's Siem de Jong who wins the header. And it's gone from bad to worse for me. I don't know why we didn't defend that better. It should have been a simple header out of the box. But instead, PSV take the lead. And it's a bit of a shock here. So really not what I would have expected in the first game of the Champions League group stage. Unfortunately, we do end up losing this one to PSV. Although we did beat Schalke, I think this is a bit of a catastrophic result. We should have won this game, but I just wasn't clinical enough with my chances in the first half, and I think that's what really did hurt me. You look at the stats there, it was a very even game, and I think we got a bit unlucky to lose that one. I think even a draw would have been a fair result in this game because we didn't play well in the second half, but we've just got to dust ourselves down, and hopefully in the next couple of fixtures we can get better results. But this will be the end of this episode of this career mode, and hopefully you have enjoyed. And if you have enjoyed this episode of the Bayern Munich Career Mode series, make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you are new around here as well, make sure you subscribe for daily FIFA 17 content. It's been a bit of an up and down episode really, with us getting a win against Schalke, but then losing in the next game against PSV. And I do hope in the next couple of episodes that we can turn things around in the group stage. But apart from that guys, I'm going to have to leave it there. And I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.